Okay, this is actually going to be a day 5 supplemental, okay, because day 5 is not yet over. Okay, there's a couple more phases left, and right now I'm about 3 hours from, or about an hour into the second to last stage, the 7 p.m., the 11 p.m. Those are the two that are left, and then day 6 begins, in which time I would normally do a proper day 5 summary, but because of what happened this phase, I have to update it on a supplemental, and then if there's more that I need to input about it, then actually have a proper day 5 summary. So on top of that, so this day 5 supplemental could end up being the only update from day 5. Just saying. So okay, um, I'm not sure if it's just my memory because I haven't done this for a year. It's been a year since my last attempt or something, or what exactly the reason is, but it just a very to my mind now, it's just a very bizarre and unique event took place that I don't have any recollection of experiencing before. So it's important to document it, which is why I'm doing this supplemental. Okay, so in the 3 p.m. phase, which okay, that's the fourth phase of the day. Out of 6, the fourth phase. Um, the I woke up, okay, and I could tell the boogeyman was around. I mean, I knew that boogeyman was around and stuff, but that's normal. And so I went about my normal morning procedures. Morning, which is like there's mornings. How many of them? 6 of them. Um, but anyway, I went through my normal wake up procedure, which just involves putting cords back into the computer while I'm snoozing the alarm so I can until I get my input devices in, and just going through that process of eventually getting the alarm turned off, and you know it's just sort of a process where I'm removing cords, putting cords in, and snoozing, and then actually closing, and then it's just this complicated thing that I have to do. Um, and while I was doing that, it occurred to me that I was like, okay, this is a really good time for a shower. Okay. Um, and so I'll just go ahead and I don't have to really deal. And I thought, hey, that'll be really convenient because I don't have to deal with the boogeyman. I could just go right to the shower after as soon as I'm done with these cords, and everything will be cool. So I thought, hey, all right, I'm good. So I went, took a shower. Now, granted, it was a normal shower, which was a warm shower. In other words, like hot shower. In other words, okay. Now this maybe had an effect. Maybe this is involved. I don't think so per se. I've never had this happen before because of a shower that I can remember. I've never had this happen before that I can remember at all. Okay, so maybe just a coincidence that I had taken a shower. Okay, but um, so I came in from the bathroom, okay, and I was getting ready to start my day, start the phase. Um, After taking a shower, and I was like, okay, cool. So I'm back to everything's cool. I'm gonna just take care of business normally, keep busy and such, and I was kind of aware that there was the boogeyman around and everything, but it was like no big threat. I mean, it was just seemed like hovering around. Okay, that's normal. And and since I'm here doing the supplemental, the first phase of the day, the first phase of day 5, which is that 3 a.m. phase, I didn't actually get to sleep. I sat there for the 30 minutes, didn't get to sleep. Okay, now that followed on the phase of day 4 when I was feeling so good. Okay, and I think I was so amped up and excited and happy and everything that I had too much energy to get to sleep. And I think I didn't make it to sleep. So um, there's just it's just that's going to be some sort of general indication that I'm not adapted. I mean um, that's pretty much what it is. Um, but anyway, I wanted to document that too, as well, if you will, Okay, and right. So in general, right. Because I thought that just in case there's a connection between that event and what I was going through here, which I don't think there's a connection because there was two phases afterwards. I mean, there was the 7 a.m. phase which went fine, and the 11 a.m. phase which went fine. Okay, and then in the 3 p.m. phase, before I went to sleep at 3 p.m. Um, okay, so I sat down after the shower, and it was like I got ambushed. It was like I didn't know that there was this strong boogeyman that was so strong that was like right ready to pounce. It was like, so I'm calling it the elite boogeyman. Or, so, it's an elite soldier. It's not. It ambushed me, and that was just. I just don't. I didn't have any warning. I mean, there's not even it's just I felt like I was just ambushed. Okay, and what exactly happened is even more bizarre because as soon as I sat down, um, that boogeyman took over my consciousness. I mean, it was just like this oppressive force, and it felt like it was hovering like on top of me, and then I was seated, and then it was hovering on top of me, and then like pushed me down by my stomach. I mean, like, and then it was like it was talking to me, and it said, um, "You will fail. You will fail." And then I remember just giving up and feeling totally discouraged and falling asleep, like laying from that seated position, my back hit the ground and just collapsing. And when I woke up, which was approximately 1.5 hours later, when I woke up, I was so discouraged. I mean, I remember feeling that I had completely failed. This entire attempt was over. I had completely failed. Okay, um, and I remember how empty that felt. I mean, that it felt so empty. Um, but then once I had that occurred, then all the reasons why I was doing this came back to me, like one after the other, almost in a like a line going across, like, and then all of a sudden all the reasons were like present in my consciousness as to exactly why I was doing this, and then I realized what. There's no way that I've failed this. It's impossible. I mean, how could I have failed this? It's impossible that I failed because I'm not giving up. I mean, it's impossible. The if I fail at this, the failure is so monumental. I, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable to fail. And then I got up, and it was like, for some reason, that entire event was like over exaggerated in my mind. Um, so okay, I mean that's pretty much what happened, and again, I'm calling that like the Special Forces Elite Boogeyman. I mean, ambush, man. I mean, out of nowhere. And the only way I would have been able to defeat that in the current circumstances that I was in at that time would have been to fight it while it was that in that pinning me down stage when it started talking to me. At that point, I would have had to have fought it off because otherwise it had me pinned. I mean, I was like done for. Just grabbed hold of me and it was like over. I mean, I couldn't fight back, and it was like, you're going to fail, like, like what? What you talking about, Willis? I mean, dang. Gosh, bizarre. Oh, and then to top things off, I sat there like I was just trying to and after I had gotten up from that, I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, trying to take mental stock of what happened. Trying to, okay, how much time did I lose? I start writing that down. Okay, now what exactly happened? Exactly, like a policeman taking a report. What exactly happened, ma'am? um, and I got overwhelmed with sleep again. Just sitting there, and nothing special or anything, but just overwhelmed by that. Um, overwhelmed by, knocked out for about, I mean, 15 minutes or less. Okay, so the total loss of time, because that was the last of it. After that, everything was fine. So the total loss of time is 1.75 hours. Okay, so that's basically 5.5 days with no negative sleep events of any major consequence at all. That's pretty good, actually. I mean, that's a pretty good 5 days in a row. Pretty good. Uh, Damn. I just wish it hadn't happened. I wish I had foresight or ability to deal with it. I somehow got to be super careful, more vigilant, and even stronger. Like willing to fight. Phase before that, I remember towards the end of that phase, the boogeyman was getting strong because well, that might have been the 7 a.m. phase because I did have to go outside and walk around. Yeah, that was that 7 a.m. phase. Um, okay, and so that was payment. That was payment for the 3 a.m. phase where I didn't get any sleep. Okay, the boogeyman got really strong right at the 5 hour mark. Is that right? 5 hours? 3 hour mark. Or yeah, the phase is 4 hours. Right at the 3 hour mark, the boogeyman got really strong because it was as if I had missed. I had deliberately skipped my nap. I mean, see, that's the thing about when we don't, and this is also what I wanted to report. When we don't get to sleep during the sleep portion of the phase, okay, and we don't get to sleep, it's counted as if we deliberately missed that nap. That the fact that we napped doesn't actually, or attempted to, doesn't actually matter because that is a no sleep on your record, and a no sleep is going to be paid for because um, that is just the way that it works. And Steve Pavlini, he actually demonstrated that you have enough leeway to go almost, you can go as far as 3 hours over your nap and you're okay. You can remake it up, okay. But once you hit go past that, you're gonna take damage. I mean, your state is gonna be damaged. You're gonna have to go through a little bit of sleep depth in order to get back on track, and it's gonna hurt, and you're gonna be messed up. So until you get back off sleep depth again. So but it doesn't, So anyway, that's um, that's what happened. Okay, so that had to be paid for, and it was paid for. The reason that it coincided with what Steve Pavlini said was because it was right in the 6 a.m. time zone. Right around 6 a.m., the boogeyman started to get really strong and started to take me over, attempt to. And I had a warning. See, that's the difference. I had a warning there. I knew what was going on. I was like, okay, I get it. This boogeyman is, getting stronger. I need to be, vigilant, take care of this. So I got up and I said, okay, yeah. I mean, it's like 30 minutes left in the sleep phase, but it's okay. I mean, 30 minutes left in the phase before I have to go to sleep. So I'll get up and I'll take a walk, and then come back. And I felt refreshed. I only had when I got back, maybe it was 5 or 10 minutes left in the phase, and then I was able to close it out uneventfully, go right to sleep, and everything was fine. 11 a.m. phase was fine, nothing, no problem, leading up to this attack, this assault. And what was different about it was that I had no warning. I knew the boogeyman was around, but I didn't understand how strong it was, and I just got jumped. I mean, it was the elite special forces boogeyman. I mean, that's what that was. I just have to be more vigilant somehow. And I don't know. Try to be prepared for such a thing when that happens again. I got to fight back. In that, I only have. If I don't in the moment, if I don't fight back in the moment like that, I'm just gonna be knocked out. I don't have a choice. So that's what I'm gonna have to do. Uh, okay, so that's the end of this report. If the two more phases that are left in this day of 5 go fine, then the next report will be day 6. So talk to you.